How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today is a big one. Friends, strap in and strap on because we are at the beginning of the end. Is it? I hope not. But this is the first song off of Sleep Token's latest album, Take Me Back to Eden. This is Chokehold. I am so excited to get into this. And before I begin, I just want to say a quick thank you to you guys for coming along on this journey with me. I said it at the start of this reaction series that I kind of stumbled across this band and I have just fallen hopelessly in love with this music and their story and Vessel's narrative and his sort of penchant, however you want to say that, for weaving in these weird metaphors in such a cool way to tell his story. So that's pretty cool. But also I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for subscribing and getting me far. We're almost at 1,000 subs, guys. I'm like a couple hundred away from 1,000 subs. That's insane to me. I started doing these reactions like 6 months ago, so that's kind of insane. But thank you nonetheless, and let's fucking go for 1,000, man. Let's get to it. Let's cross that threshold. But with that, in celebration of that, I do want to say that I have a Patreon. I will drop a link to it in the description, but that's just for anyone who's feeling generous. And if you want to support the channel and help me, make better content, build this channel out and build the community out, that's kind of what that's for. So if you are feeling generous, no pressure. It's like a $1 tier on Patreon just for support of this channel, because I know these reactions are not going to make me any money, let's be honest, but I'm having fun nonetheless. So just thank you for that support, and a quick shout out to two of my very first patrons on Patreon, Carrie Fisher and Becca Richard. How do you spell your last name? Rachard. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. I apologize. Rachard. But thank you so much to the two of you. You became my first ever patrons, and that's like a huge deal to me. I didn't think anyone would, so thank you. Yeah, I'm rambling on, but I'm gonna dive into the reaction and I'm going to dissect Chokehold's lyrics as well as the Summoning's lyrics. I've already reacted to the Summoning, so if you want to check that reaction out, I will link that also in the description, or it will appear in one of these corners. That one. Whichever, it'll pop up. So check it out if you like. And I'm kind of re-listening to the song and reanalyzing the lyrics with what I know now from listening to the last two albums. So without further ado and much rambling later, this is Chokehold. Let's dive in. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I have no idea what to expect. Well, I have some idea. I'm going to expect greatness! We got another one of these character statues. Who are these Elden Ring boss-looking bitches, man? Who are these characters? Oh, yeah. I love that 60s, 70s era fuzz. Whoa. Yeah, go off, son. Go off. Ooh. What is that thing? I love it. It's funky. Oh shit! Volume all the way the fuck up. Oh. Oh my god. Fucking drumming, dude. Come on. Holy shit. That's fucking gross. What is that fucking thing? Kill it. Oh, gross, dude. Oh, it's oozing. It's oozing. Oh. 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 We are in it. We are deep in it now. Oh my goodness. It's definitely keeping with the same kind of tone that the summoning and ascensionism and Take Me Back to Eden have. Another one of these friggin' Soulsborne looking bosses. That's a gaming thing. If you're not a gamer, I'm sorry. That reference might have flown over your head. But holy shit. He definitely sounds more confident. And this coming after Missing Limbs of the last album, where it was kind of like the final stages of his acceptance. Maybe not final stages, but he was definitely well into his acceptance stage of his grief and his, mourning the loss of his girlfriend, whether she left or died or whatever it was. It sounds like she left, because there were a lot of lyrics in the last record that alluded to her being with someone else, and he was kind of backing away, accepting that she won't be his, or that he acknowledged the toxicity and he was letting go, that kind of thing. This though, let's just pull up the lyrics real quick. All right, lyrics up. Let's do this. When we were made, it was no accident. Now I can see this song being him sort of singing to sleep, because we know that this album deals more with the etherealness of Vessel's identity, right? This is him basically slipping into the Vessel persona, right? because in the previous records, there was 1, 2, maybe 3 songs where it felt like he was Vessel, particularly The Love You Want, Alkaline. Those felt Vessel-ish. Like those songs felt like they were from this time period, if that makes sense, right? He was already Vessel, but then we were bouncing back and forth between him being before Vessel and dealing with the loss of the relationship and whatever that was, right? So this feels more Vessel-y to me. Vessel-y. It could be him still singing to her, but this... Okay, we'll get into it. When we were made, it was no accident. We were tangled up like branches in a flood. Pretty obvious metaphor. Branches, when there's like a flash flood or something in trees and shit get knocked over, branches get tangled up and they create like a blockage and they're just... it's a clusterfuck, basically. I come as a blade, a sacred guardian, so you keep me sharp and test my worth in blood. Now, is that a reference to Bloodsport, where he was singing about how their relationship was basically like a freaking violent boxing match? Or is he singing to Sleep in the sense like, I come as a blade, like literally just, I am a knife, I am a blade, I am a weapon. I am a weapon, a sacred guardian. So you keep me sharp and test my worth in blood. Basically, how do you keep something sharp? You use a sharpening tool like a whetstone or another blade against blade to keep it sharp and test my worth in blood. So basically, field testing him, right? If it's from the point of view of Vessel, it's like you need to prove you're worthy of being my vessel, of being my, my whatever, my servant or guardian, right? You need to prove your worth, and the only way to test that worth is in blood, right? So then he sings, "You've got me in a chokehold." So he still feels bound. So if it's metaphorically speaking to, again, his lady love, then he's still like, it's still at that stage where he's accepting it, but he's kind of still drawn towards her, and she's got him in a chokehold, right? But a chokehold is an interesting metaphor to use, because it's like, you've got me bound, but it's against my will. So that's kind of him evolving his mindset, right? Because back then he was willing to give himself up and just completely devote himself. But now it's like, I want to break away, but you've got me in a chokehold. So it is against his will. So then, like, these kind of more, wider metaphors, which he's done before, he's used like cosmic metaphors and metaphors of the ocean and the stars and the cosmos and fucking chemistry and science. Beneath the stormy seas, above the mountain peaks, it's all the same to me. So whether it's, below the ocean, hello, or above the mountain peaks, it's all the same to me. It makes no difference. I've seen my days unfold, done the impossible. I'll turn my walls to gold to bring you home again. I'll turn my walls to gold to bring you home again. That's interesting. Not really sure what he's referring to there. I'll turn my walls to gold. Like to entice her into coming back? Not really sure. Maybe you guys can enlighten me in the comments. But basically he's talking about how, whether it's the bottom of the ocean, whether it's above the mountains, whether it's the sky, the heavens, the hells, whatever it is, it's all the same to him. Makes no difference. He's seen his days unfold, right? He's done it all. He's been through everything. So show me that which I cannot see, even if it hurts me, even if I can't sleep. This again feels like he's talking to Sleep, like the god or goddess or whatever, right? The deity. He's talking to her and he's like, I'm willing to kind of turn myself over to you. But again, if we're taking the entire thing as him talking to Sleep, then him being in a chokehold still rings true of it being against his will. So is he now, even though he's sort of found this deity and willing to worship, is it against his will? Is it like just going from one toxic relationship right into another? Right? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Because that's what it reads. That's how it reads to me. Even if it hurts me, even if I can't sleep, which again reads into the toxicity. Like, he doesn't care what happens to him as long as it gets the job done. So I still don't know what. I'll turn my walls to gold to bring you home again. So if that's him talking to sleep, I don't know. If it's a conversation between two people, like between him and sleep, that may be reaching. That might be reaching. Well, I don't know. I'll come back to that. But and though we act out of our holy duty to be constantly awake. Holy duty to be constantly awake. Okay, this kind of calls back to the sacred guardian line. Which again, yeah, I think this is just him talking to sleep. I don't think there's any other metaphor there. Could be, but no, I think it's mostly him talking to the deity. And he's the sacred guardian, and he's acting out of his holy duty to be constantly awake. Which, I mean, okay, I guess. Holy duty to be constantly awake, fine. That could be metaphorically, like you have to be alert, you have to be on guard all the time. Oh, being on guard. But then again, oh man, this is confusing me. Because I'm trying to kind of crossfade it with the relationship he had, as well as his kind of metaphorical relationship to this deity sleep. Right? He's acting out of his holy duty to be constantly awake. So he's acting out of his holy duty to be constantly awake. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. All right, we'll leave that. Pause. We'll come back to it. Oh, that's about it though. So, right, in the outro he says, even if it hurts me, even if I can't sleep, show me the way. Okay, so then he's talking about following sleep's path, right? He's talking about following sleep's, show me the way. Show me the fucking, okay, we're gonna jump right into the summoning lyrics. Hold on. Okay, this is literally following a narrative, because the second song on this album is The Summoning, and I'm gonna jump from this song right into The Summoning and see if the two songs kind of align. Because how The Summoning starts, the lyrics there, literally, even if it hurts me, even if I can't sleep, show me the way. How does The Summoning start? I've got a river running right into you. I've got a blood trail, red in the blue. Something you say or something you do, the taste of the divine. That is the way. Who am I, Mandalorian? That is the way. Even if it hurts, even if I can't sleep, show me the way. Here's the way. I've got a river running right into you. I've got a blood trail, red in the blue. Red in the blue meaning the blood in the water. Again, with the water definition, metaphors. But I've got a river running right to you. Basically, river running, you're following a path. You're following a track. Blood trail, again, you're following blood that's been spilled. You're following it to somewhere. And then something you say or something you do, the taste of the divine. Right? The taste of the divine. So it's like sleep is hanging a carrot on a stick. And Vessel is following it because, I mean, the carrot is a metaphor for whatever she's offering him. Whatever, help or healing or a way to get over the breakup or the loss, right? So that's there. And then pre-chorus, he's like, you've got my body, flesh and bone. Yeah, the sky above and the earth below. So, hopelessly devoted, basically, right? Raise me up again, take me past the edge. I want to see the other side. That's again him following sleep to the other side. And if we're talking about metaphors here, this could also be his ritual of wanting to go into the long sleep. You know what I mean? That kind of ties into that earlier metaphor from this place will become your tomb. So that's basically it. Raise me up again, take me past the edge. I want to see the other side. The edge, I guess, meaning his proverbial horizon or the edge of existence itself. He wants to see the other side. right? And then the second chorus, he's like, won't you show me what it's like? He's asking. Okay, but this, because I was listening to the summoning earlier today to kind of get back into the mindset of Taking Back to Eden. In the bridge, when it gets into that funky part of the song, my favorite part of this song, I feel like he is being taken off, because there's a whole 2-3 minutes instrumental part of that song where it sounds just ambient, which calls back to Tomb. It sounds sort of wavy and ethereal, and to me, like, the visual feels like vessel being lifted up and being taken off, right? So that's kind of how I thought of it. And then in the bridge, where he's saying, oh, and my love, did I mistake you for a sign from God, or are you really here to cast me off, or maybe just to turn me on? Because these days I would be lying if I told you that I didn't wish that I could be a man, or maybe make a good girl bad. I feel like that's as he's leaving. Now this is again metaphorical, but as he's leaving, he's letting go of the relationship. But he's like, oh, one more thing. And he's kind of just talking to her. And that is him acknowledging, because sometimes when you have to, in a breakup or something, you never just part ways, right? I mean, that's kind of an unhealthy way to look at it. You never just part ways and then never talk again. There's always a conversation that needs to happen after the breakup to sort of get closure. I feel like this is him getting closure. And he's finally acknowledging her and talking to her and saying, did I mistake you for a sign from God? I mean, he did. And he's acknowledging, or are you really here to cast me off, or maybe just to turn me on? Because these days I would be lying if I told you that I didn't wish that I could be your man, or maybe make a good girl bad. So that's still him. He's referring to, like, there's still a small part of me that kind of wants it still. Very small part, but it's dying off, right? It's letting go. He's deep into the vessel persona. He's deep into the acceptance. He's letting it go, right? And then this part kind of got me, because the refrain from the first part of the song, he still sings, I've got a river running right into you. I've got a blood trail red in the blue. Something you say or something you do, the taste of the divine. You got my body, flesh and blood, flesh and bone. The sky above, the earth below. Nothing to say and nowhere to go. So that kind of adding on to that, I feel like that's him. The first part of the song was him talking to Sleep. The second part is him talking to the girl. And he sounds way more confident. He sounds way more at peace with himself, kind of, because again, there's still a small part that wishes that they could be together, that it could have worked somehow. But he's like, yeah, but it is what it is, right? And then the refrain is him talking to her and saying, I've got a river running right into you. I've got a blood trail red in the blue. So there's still like there's two paths, that one is going towards Sleep and one is going back to her. Something you say or something you do, the taste of the divine being their relationship. There were moments where it was divine, right? And then you've got my body, flesh and bone, the sky above, the earth below, nothing to say and nowhere to go. Nothing to say and nowhere to go. So basically he's trapped. Not trapped, but he's like, this way to Sleep, that way back to fucking hell, the taste of the divine. It's beyond human at this point. That's kind of what I took from that. Re-listening to the song, that's kind of what I took that to mean. Because he's saying, when he sang it the first time, it was, I mean, I don't know if this is intentional. This is just how I heard it. But the first part of the song is like an off time, it's like a weird time signature, and it's very syncopated kind of lyrics that's just sort of offbeat, right? But then in the refrain, he's way more confident. He's way, like, it's straight up, straight beat, funky, sexy. It's Vessel being confident. Whereas the first part, he's kind of, it feels like he's stumbling, and, he's following Sleep to this other place. Raise me up, I want to see the other side. He's kind of like, okay, at something you say or something you do, the taste of the divine. Like, he's trying to get to her. but then at the refrain, he's kind of singing it very sort of cool towards the girl. That kind of pushing that narrative that he's accepted that, yeah, it's not going to work. Small part of me wishes that it could, but it's not going to work. So that's what I took from that. But holy shit, what a good song Chokehold is. God damn, I love that riff, man. I love that fucking riff. But anyway, that is gonna do it for me. This video ran a little long, I apologize. But I wanted to kind of reanalyze, the summoning lyrics and kind of get prepared for song number 3, which is Granite or Granite, however you want to say it, wherever you are in the world. But this was Chokehold. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. As always, drop a like if you enjoyed the reaction. Let me know your interpretation. And I will see you in the next one. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.